Hello students, how are you today? I hope you always good. Today we're gonna learn about time. Time is really important for our daily life because it help us to know when we wake up, when we get a breakfast, when we go to school, when we get lunch, and also when we play with friends. What is clock? Clock is help tell us about time. A big hand is a minute of hands. A small hand is a hour of hand. The number of the clock is from 1 to 12. How to read a clock? First, when the big hands point to 12, it is the start of the hour. I will give you example, students. First, when the big hands point to 12 and the small hands point to 3, it's gonna be 3 o'clock. Like example, when the big hands point to 12 and the small hands point to 6, it's gonna be 6 o'clock. Okay, the last example, when the big hands point to 12 and the small hands point to 4, it's gonna be 4 o'clock. Okay, we're gonna move how to read half past hour. When the big hands point to 6, it is gonna be half past the hours. For the example, when the big hands point to 6 and the small hand point to 3, it's gonna be half past 3. Next example, when the big hands points to 6 and the small hands points to 8, it's gonna be half past 8. For the last example, when the big hands point to 6 and the small hand point to 10, it's gonna be half past 10. Okay, I think you understand, my students. I will give you exercise. Okay, students, how's the quiz? Is it good? Okay, you can write your score on the comments later, cause we're gonna move to the next material about time. For the next, we're gonna know how to read a quarter past and quarter to. For the first, how to read a quarter past is when the big hands point to 3 is a quarter past the hour. For the example, when the big hands on 3 and the small hands on 5, it is quarter past 5. Next example, when the big hands on 3 and the small hands on 6, it is quarter past 6. Okay, for the next example, when the big hand on 3 and the small hand on 10, it is quarter past 10. Okay, I think you understand, my student. We will gonna move to the quarter to. When the big hand on 9, it is quarter to the hour. For the example, when the big hand on 9 and the small hand on 7, it is quarter to 7. Next example, when the big hand on 9, the small hand on 8, it is quarter to 8. Last example, when the big hand on 9 and the small hand on 11, it is quarter to 11. Okay, I think that's all. We're gonna move to the quiz. Okay, students, how the last quiz? Is it good? You can tell us your score in the comment. And I think that's all about explanations about clock and time. And now you know how to read a clock, and you know what times is you wake up, you go to school, also have a breakfast. I will say thank you for listening my video. See you on my next video, students. Bye bye.